All right, we're going to welcome to the Live Stream AI podcast. We have Chris Richards, the CEO of UX Bright out of Chicago, Illinois. Uh, Good morning, and can you share a little bit about your role and how it fits into the bigger picture at UX Bright?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. We're a product consulting firm. We help a lot of businesses grow from 0 to 1 as it relates to their digital experiences. So a lot of times you're building a new product, we'll help the business do that. Or if you have an existing product or a software as a service platform, we help you improve that and scale it. I've been a 1X founder. I started a tech software as a service business back in 2016 to 2020. Successfully did fundraising, sold that business, and then now I'm helping other founders build their technical visions out best, right? Whatever I can do, part of my job really is just listen to founders, understand the problems, and make sure we assign the best teams uh, that they need in order to make it happen, right? So.
It's always nice to work with founders. One myself, certainly haven't had an exit like you, but I love that you do that. What does a typical day look like for you?
Typical day. Well, I can give today's certainly as example. Had about 8 different meetings on. I start the meeting off. Really, I start the day off really just meeting with my team, making sure they're aligned on the things that they need for the week, right? Or that day, and then usually run into doing my own admin, finance, marketing, and then the other half of the day is usually client calls, right? Connecting with folks like yourself, doing podcasts. Um, it's a lot of things going on, but I now before my first business, I used to just run around with a chicken with my head cut off. But nowadays, I live and die by my calendar, and I time block everything. So it's like if I'm not working on one thing, I'll look at the calendar and says, "What am I supposed to be doing?" Okay, it says marketing. Let's focus on marketing today, right? As opposed to just like going by the calendar wind. So.
Yeah, that's nice. I can see you know how to do that. I see those posts on your blogs and everything. You're doing wonderful work. How are you? What major shifts are you seeing in the industry right now in UX, given engagement and conversions and really just being mindful of like ethics and all these things? How people are very emotional with these things. How do you are you seeing what kind of shifts are you seeing in the industry right now?
Yeah, I mean, the first major shift that we're seeing is the way that people are searching information and finding brands, right? So before you can go in, 2015, go into Google, search up the best cookbook recipes, and you go to 3 to 4 different links before you sort of find that right one, right? So there was a little bit of discovery that was involved there. But nowadays, I just watched this just this weekend. My uncle, 4th of July weekend, went to go search for something online, and the AI overview is now here right on search. And it gives you the answer right there in the overview. And he didn't go click 2, 3 links down to go figure out the recipe. He just, oh, okay, it said I need 2, 3, eggs and flour. Okay, great. So we're finding that the way that people are querying information is changing. People aren't going directly to Google. They're just going straight to the ChatGPT bot and they're searching in that query, right? How do I do this? How do I do that? And so being in the web space, we've been in the web space. Well, I know I've been in the web space for at least 10 years. The company more so for about 5. Um, we've noticed that the click-through rates for like blogs, those are just decreasing. So those conversions that you would normally expect from, hey, let's create a blog and people will like the blog and then they'll like our product, that method isn't going to work anymore. So now the new shift is, and I was actually just talking with another individual about this, the new shift for businesses is creating authentic content machines. What do I mean by that? Podcasts, right, are now becoming the most an incredible good medium of content, or just short form in general, right? If you could take whatever you're doing in your work, put it in short form, that way people can easily digest it. That seems to be gathering people's attention. So we've gone from, 2015 used to be, hey, all I need is a website, a little SEO, and people can find me, right? But nowadays, you need to actively start spending an investment in your content. And if you aren't doing that in 2025 as a business owner, you're gonna be behind. That's what we
So,
found.
so do you think that the content creation, like, how do you think that's impacted your business or growth strategy?
Yeah, so we actually several different aspects, but we started actually podcasting with Growth Labs about last year in October. That was when we first started podcasting. So since then, we almost have almost a year of content repertoire that we could pull from, and then we could repurpose and put into blog, put into all these other elements. So what this has done for our marketing is ultimately help us create the content in an effective way. So we film it once, repurpose it, and redistribute it. And what this has also allowed us to do is in our marketing funnel, you get people aware of the brand, but what's after awareness? Education and consideration, right? So we were filling out that part of our marketing funnel where people are just now learning about UX Bright. They come into the fold. They can a number of different resources to learn and help their business, and then that turns into a natural evolution into, okay, maybe I want a consultation with them, right? So we've seen increase in our SEO, increase in web visitors. We're not YouTube wasn't an ideal strategy at first, but now our shorts are going crazy on YouTube, right? Like each one is at least getting close to 1,000+ views,
Wow.
and it's like, okay, let's keep pushing these buttons, right, and seeing where it takes us. So, we're feeding algorithm beasts, and that's unfortunately the game we have to play. But some businesses, they aren't catching up to that, right? It's like they think the old ways of marketing is going to work, right? Like, oh yeah, put up some posters and some business cards, that should work, right? Like, no, we're in 2025. Like, this is the future now. So you gotta adapt or die, as sometimes they say.
Yeah, no, your name says it all, right? UX Brand. I love that you're already ahead of the game just with your domain name, and you're absolutely right. What do you think is working well right now for you, and what's been like frustrating? I'm sure there's always a checks and balance shifting with Google's algorithms and the way
Yeah, that's
people are
always
behaving.
fun. Yeah, I guess what's been interesting about our business and what the challenge was is, originally when we started, we were a web development firm in 2020, and very quickly it evolved into, okay, great, Chris, we got the website, or hey, we've got the app or product out. How do we scale it now? And the real challenge that we had been running into it as an agency within even just the past year is the rise of vibe coding. Are you familiar with that topic? Maybe I should give a little description for the
Yeah,
audience.
I love to hear about that. I've never heard the
Yeah,
term. You're on the forefront of technology. I know that just
right.
with your domain. So Vibe sounds like something we're doing right now. But
Yeah, no, right. Yeah. So vibe code is a new term. Basically, you have an AI help you build your website, build your product out, right? And you don't need a full development team. So, you know, bad for my business, but hey, for humanity, not a problem, right? And knowing that that shift was happening, we had to reposition ourselves, right? Um, Originally, we started off with, hey, you don't have any product, we'll help you build it. That's not necessarily the case we're doing anymore. We tend to work with founders that have their prototype already built, or at least the first version of the product, and are looking at how to actually scale it, right? Because it's becoming easier now more than ever to go start an LLC. You can go vibe code your own software as a service product, and we probably spin together a little mini team and make some money. That's the barrier to entry when I first started my journey in entrepreneurship in 2016 is totally different. So, and for good things, right? Like if back then, if I didn't need a full development team to build my product, like, yeah, I would jump on that. But what we're starting to find though is uh, someone who uses vibe coding, you get so deep into building your product that you realize I can't do it all. And so that's where we become the partners for a lot of folks is, okay, you vibe coded something, great, cool. Now, how do you actually launch it, scale it, and make money off of it? That's a whole different question that we're hoping brands answer.
Yeah, that entrepreneur background you have really helps founders get from A to Z, meaning from zero to 100,000 or zero to a million in the first year. I mean, that's the biggest challenge, right? Is what's your
Yeah,
product?
yeah. I have a kind of offering right now for founders. It's a program called Scale. Basically, help you go from $0 to 10K in MRR with your software product. And it's a proven framework for how do you actually get there, as opposed to, okay, I launched the thing, what happens now, right? Like the fallacy that a lot of people have is, if I build it, they will come, and that's not true at all. I've worked with a number of different founders. They spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on this product, and they released it to no audience. And it's like, all right, where was the customer discovery and marketing before you built these things, right? So that's what I sort of encourage folks nowadays is, it's easier now than ever to build, but can you distribute? Can you actually get in touch with a market and actually work with them? So that's going to be the key to the future.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I always tell people, you can have all the gold in the world, but if nobody knows you have it, you're going to be stuck with it all.
That's right. Yeah, there's no point in, and some of these startups who think, well, someone's going to steal my idea if I start talking about it. That's stupid. Mm-mm. Ideas are worthless, but your
Right.
execution is everything, right?
Oh,
So,
amen. Amen. That's right. No, you nailed it. No, I love your mentality. Your mindset's exactly where 2025 and going forward has to be. Uh, so what have you found frustrating? I mean, everything seems to be very nice. There's always some road bumps along the way. What have you found frustrating so far going into this year, if anything?
frustrating. I mean, I don't want to make your podcast political, but I'd say the larger macroeconomics of the economy just freaking suck. And that's the frustrating part too. I think is people don't realize is that this economy, we're all connected, right? And it was a period earlier this year, March, end of March to maybe beginning of May, where a lot of my business owners were like, we don't know what's next, right? And I can understand that, right? So, our frustration really has to do with just the environment that allows businesses to thrive. Because we were working with nonprofits, they got gutted. Certain businesses that were working directly with the government gutted. Um, you know, we were helping out somebody with an actual software bid for a government contract. That project got put on hold. So that was probably the most frustrating this year. Um, fast forward nowadays, right? Um, there's still a lot of ambiguity right now that's going on, right, in the market at large, and what the landscape of the rules are supposed to be. And I think that's the most frustrating thing for us is we really can't plan the way we really ought to. So if like when it comes to like, hey, is UX Bright hiring this year? I'd love to. I don't know what you know what I'm saying. Like 6 months may bring us down the road, and that's concerning, right? Especially in an economic country where the economy is supposed to rule, and free capitalism is supposed to do its thing. So that's probably really the only frustrating part, right? And then the other thing too is I would just say, as you mentioned, is just diffusing the noise. So we're authentic. We do exactly our thing, but now we got all this AI slop that we also have to compete with too. So more annoying if anything, but um, yeah, I would say those are really just the challenges so far. Just
I think the market definitely echoes the same sentiment. We all are in the same boat. I think when it comes to unknown, having a baby this year was definitely scary.
oh, that was you, huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, tell me, what metrics are you most focused on improving? If there was any metric you were to choose now.
Just within the context of the internal business, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
at
yeah.
UX, right?
I mean, um, the top one that comes to mind right now for us is user acquisition, or client acquisition, right? For us, we recognize in downturns in markets like this that really the only way to combat that is just having a more sound business, right? And so what we did just over the last like 6 months is help streamline like our sales and marketing processes, and um, we got a team of sales folks now that are working with us. We call them digital growth advisors, and their job is to make local community impact. So making partnerships with other firms, that's been incredibly powerful as well too, because we can come in and provide that product development or digital transformation where they may have not necessarily seen that before. So yeah, but user acquisition I think right now is our focus in terms of metric. And we're doing that through a number of different channels. So yeah, we got the podcast, running ads, got blogs, got website, you name it. So it's very much an omni-channel sort of approach, and we're in it for the long run. We think the content's going to win out in the end. And all we need is Google's algorithm, or not Google's algorithm, but Facebook's algorithm just pick us up that one good time, and that might change the whole trajectory of things, right? So
You are on a good trajectory right now, and I think you are. I feel it. I saw your growth partner, that gentleman. He had a beard on his face on your slide.
yeah, my co-host Neil Haley.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that was him. Yeah, yeah, I saw that. That was great. I love the growth term and the growth partner, and I think that's really what it's about is finding the entrepreneur in that journey and then grabbing their hand and helping them navigate through all the trials and tribulations you have failed on already. Without those failures, you wouldn't have the ability to provide the success and the solutions that they're looking for. So that's a huge plus in working with UX Bright. I love that. In the future, where do you want to be? Where do you see UX Bright in 6 to 12 months from now?
man, great question. Um, you know, uh, what we're looking at right now is grow, growing our sales team, right, and internal team. We originally started off uh, with 5. We wanted to get to 20, but economy had a different idea for us. But yeah, we want to grow our team because we know our offering is strong. So that's kind of the big thing. So we'd love to have a bigger team in the next 6 to 10 months. The other big thing is we've worked with enterprise clients before, Fortune 90 businesses, but we want to start adding more of those to our rosters, and making sure that the solutions that we're able to deploy can be repeatable for a lot of more enterprises. A lot of the enterprise projects and opportunities we were looking at very customized work. So we're seeing what does it mean to provide a more streamlined offering for enterprise, whether that's through staff augmentation or some other means.
Nice, nice. So if and this seems like it's kind of a silly question because I feel like you've already answered it. But if you could solve one major challenge today, what would it be?
Solve any major challenge for the business.
Yeah, it's one major challenge. Yeah, I feel like you already kind of told
Probably
me
just
about
probably just
sales.
probably just I would say more of the discoverability on the marketing side. It's going to take time, right? Like no one becomes a overnight celebrity in any regard in a short time. But yeah, I think if we can kind of solve some of that visibility problem, right, and diffusing through some of the slop that's out there, that'll tend to help a little bit more. And it doesn't always mean more automations, right, or more AI. I think it just means it's more intent, more strategy, and just making the right connections. So,
That's absolutely. I think your outlook and mindset is right where it needs to be. I had actually you mentioned about growing your sales team and expanding that. I've worked with sales teams. I've built sales teams. It's so hard when you pay for leads and you spend money on them and they don't follow up like
yeah.
you and I would because you spent the money to get it. And maybe we can have a future conversation about how AI is helping guys like ourselves build sales teams that automate the process and make things happen for you faster without the need of human capital from per se of like a guy like Neil, where you have a guy like Neil managing multiple sales development reps, which I can, we can talk, maybe if it makes sense, we can schedule another call next week and talk about how, what that looks like and how it can advance your business if you're open to it.
Yeah, I mean, we're always exploring different avenues, right? But yeah, it's there's there's many different ways to skin that cat, right? And we know content's going to be the key. And when it comes to sales, right, we're very relationship driven, right?
Absolutely.
It's like solution selling, it's sort of set up, right? We and that's part of that. Part of that is, we don't call our sales reps or sales development representatives, whatever you want
Growth
to call them.
partners, right? Yeah.
Digital growth advisors.
Digital growth advisors. Got it.
That's right. So you'd have a digital growth advisor. This is a partner that can work directly with you in your business to help you make sure that you're capitalizing on everything you need to on the digital side. Because, most of SMB don't have that technical competency. And if they do, it's just usually one person that's really good at one thing, right?
So where could our listeners learn more about the how'd you call it, digital growth advisor?
Yeah,
Did I
digital
say that
growth
right?
advisors. Yeah.
Digital growth advisor. Do you have a website, LinkedIn,
Yeah,
any
we got a
contact information you
website.
can put out?
Just go on to uxbrite.com. That's uxbrite.com. You can check us out. We've got a lot of free resources on there as well too. But then, the digital growth advisor, program is part of that. Usually, if you work with us in any capacity, you're getting a digital growth advisor assigned to you. So, if it's not me directly, it'll be one of my very trusted folks that know what they're talking about. So,
Very nice, Christopher. I appreciate you coming on today and sharing with us about the growth advisor strategy and what UX Bright can bring to the market. And that concludes our podcast. I'm going to just hit here.